We've got a bit of a scaredy cat on our hands. There's a good chance that you've heard that expression or something quite similar in the past. Cats, contrary to that independent streak, felines are very emotional and extremely sensitive to changes, both in and around their environment. That fight or flight is always right below the surface, and in many cases, cats can become quite spooked and potentially stay that way for days, depending on the cause of the stress, anxiety, and the fear. Does your cat get spooked almost on a regular basis? In this material, I'll talk about those scaredy cats, the potential root causes, and I'll give you some tips on how to make your cat more comfortable and more confident within their environment. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. While skittish reactions are rather common in kittens and younger felines who are just getting their paws wet, let's say, when it comes to the world, cats of any age can get spooked, and the reasons can vary from the minor to the major. As an owner, in order to solve your cat's problem or problems, it's important to understand the cause. Because without addressing the core issue, your cat won't be the only one who is chasing its tail. Let's start things off with a very notable cause, and that involves the environment itself, more specifically your home. And this subtopic, if you will, can be wide ranging just on its own. If your pet is new, not to the world, let's say, but your world, that alone can be a spooky time. Are you not the first owner? If your cat is a bit on edge, this would be due to the fact that you're new, the home is new, everything. It's simply new and very unfamiliar. This is understandable, even on a human level. We all know what it's like to be the new kid. Ask any kid how they feel on the first day of school with a brand new teacher and some new classmates and a new classroom. Same vibes for sure. Some butterflies, some anxiety. It's a brewing. Another reason for the startled behavior, and I've mentioned this many times throughout the history of senior cat wellness, and that is the subtle object changes within the environment. A new sofa, a new table, new television, anything and everything. Cats are creatures of habits and routines. Everything is what it is, and if something new comes along, sometimes the world does a backflip in the eyes and mind of a feline. Something that you'll likely find totally trivial and harmless could spook your cat. Just a quick story, my senior cat Burl years ago when he used to roam my living room, and we're talking about an old cat here, even though he was familiar with everything. He would seemingly go out of his way, make a wide turn, literally, in order to avoid a large ceramic turtle on the floor in the living room. He'd seen that turtle for years, but it never failed. He'd go out of his way to avoid it. So even in that case, and even for a senior cat who'd seen it all by that point in life, that old ceramic turtle always spooked him just a bit. Another reason for the spooks could involve a negative experience. This sort of harkens back to the new environment, but this is a bit more dramatic. If your cat comes face to face with, let's say, the dog next door, a random repair person that's come over to fix your sink or something, a bit of baptism by fire type situation, negative exposure, unwanted exposure, unexpected meetings. If your cat is naturally a bit more delicate and emotional, coming face to face with something unfamiliar can be quite unsettling and cause your cat to seek refuge, potentially right under your sofa. And I suppose this naturally brings us to our next cause, and that involves startling sounds, loud noises, unfamiliar noises, fireworks, loud claps of thunder, hammering in the attic, just anything that is a departure from the routine. Anything unexpected, and the anxiety level only increases if the sound doesn't seem to have a visual. Loud noises outside can be bad enough, but in some ways, in some instances, the comforts of home can leave the sounds to mystery, and that can be even scarier to some felines. I spoke earlier about the new things in the home, the table, the sofa, the TV. Well, what about new living beings? A new baby, a new cat. Is there a goldfish right over there across the room? Here again. It's all about the disruption of routine and the fear, real or imagined, that security and comfort could be lost. Cats don't like change within the home, and they also don't like competition in the home. If your cat starts to feel like something new is getting the love, your pet will begin to wonder in their own way where they stand. Some cats can become rather spooked and startled at the idea of having to compete for attention and affection. With respect to older felines, generally speaking, they don't get spooked all that much. Of course, I mentioned the ceramic turtle in my senior cat, but by and large, older cats don't get spooked unless there is a very clear and present threat, a present danger. This is primarily due to maturity and general life experience. Once you've seen it all and pretty much done it all, it takes a bit more to get under the collar. Having said that, senior cats that have become hard of hearing and or suffering from some degree of vision impairment can be startled simply because what they're not able to see or hear can be jarring. The mystery and uncertainty of it all can be quite scary. If you fear that hearing or vision loss could be to blame for your cat's nervous reactions, please take your pet to the vet. And the final notable cause responsible for your cat having a case of the spooks, and you probably guessed it, and that is poor health. In addition to the declining ability to hear and see, cats that become unwell will often retreat, many times intentionally shying away from any form of contact. In this regard, your cat could be startled and unnerved by unwanted attention, with the desire to seek isolation taking top priority. With respect to your responsibility as an owner and what you can do to release your pet from a state of anxiety and potential fear, as I mentioned earlier, it's vital to get down to the root of the problem. Attempting to calm your cat with a soft voice and a few pets will only be a short-term victory if the core problem is still very much at play. My advice would first be to take stock of your cat. Watch your cat move, watch your cat eat and drink. Pay attention to everything you've come to know as normal. Are you witnessing any changes in the basics? Just the visual could give you an idea as to whether your cat's anxiety is due to illness, injury, pain, or something in the environment that they are seeing and hearing. First and foremost, in the health department, do everything possible to make sure that your cat is okay. Second, now it's time to check out that environment. What changes have been made? What's going on in the neighborhood? Is there a construction crew working on the house next door, just banging and clanging away? Is there a new coffee table in your living room? Here again, things that are trivial to you could be the grand source of your cat's anxiety. This is why a subject like this can be difficult at times because anything and everything is on the table. Heck, could be the table itself. You'll have some investigating to do for sure. And here's something else to consider. Some cats are just wound a bit tight, like a baseball. Those threads are a little bit tight. They're just anxious and nervous, especially younger felines, kittens primarily. Sometimes the root cause is just a case of the growing pains, sort of like a young child complaining about the monster under the bed. It can be tough, but sometimes as an owner you just have to tough it out and chalk things up to the stages of life. In this case, the root cause could be your cat's personality, at least for a very short time. At the heart of it all for you is to simply provide a consistent environment for your cat. And sure, some days will certainly be a bit more chaotic than others, but the daily routine, that's at the very heart of your cat's comfort and security. Knowing what to expect from the environment and knowing what to expect from you, that's what will make your cat content and give them peace. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, are you the owner of a scaredy cat, perhaps a reformed scaredy cat? Do you have a story to share? As always, the comment section, it's all yours. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.